This podcast is presented by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Welcome to Shift into Better Health, the National Diabetes Prevention Program's podcast series for Lifestyle Change Program enrollees. For folks who want to improve their health, have more energy, and prevent type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. The Lifestyle Change Program is proven to work. I'm your host, Captain Jack, radio personality and former professional truck driver. Each episode in this series is led by drivers for drivers and will cover a topic from the National Diabetes Prevention Program's Lifestyle Change Program. We'll talk about how to tackle challenges professional drivers face so you'll arrive at your destination a healthier you, faster and easier. Welcome back. In our last episode, we learned some practical tips on how to help you eat healthy, get active, and manage stress during the night shift. Today, we're going to focus on ways to keep things fresh and continue your efforts to prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. My guest is Sheila Lean, an advanced practice nurse who understands the unique challenges drivers face through her work in medical clinics. To get things started, I asked Sheila about celebrating progress.
For behavior change, reward yourself, non-food rewards early and often, but then plan for milestones such as 3 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, in a year. You know, sometimes when we first think of changing pieces of our lifestyle, I think it's normal for it to almost seem a bit overwhelming at first. Oh my goodness, I have to change activity. I need to lose weight. I need to change what I'm eating and put all these can'ts into what we're telling ourselves for our future, focusing on positives and rewarding yourself for this work that you've put in.
I love seeing the numbers move on that scale. As I got more comfortable with healthy lifestyle changes, it was easier to unload the truck, and I've had more energy when I was at home. I would talk to Joyce and list out all the positives as a result of the changes I made. What else can drivers do to reflect on their progress?
Kind of even a reevaluation, because let's say we've made some changes, had some rewards. Are we seeing a difference? Depending on where you are and what you have access to, we may not be able to get on a scale. Any change in the energy level? Are we noticing any digestive changes? Is there any evidence of lost weight? If we are seeing some positive changes, then that evaluation can tell us, hey, I'm doing the right thing, and I need to keep going on this path.
Absolutely. I love seeing results over time. It pushed me even more. But what about days when calorie burning seems boring? What solutions do you have for switching it up?
So just kind of reminding yourself how great you feel afterwards. And, if you're not feeling it with your exercise routine, then perhaps you need to change it up to something that more fits activities that you enjoy doing. Sometimes listening to something that's motivating while you're doing it, such as this podcast or music. If we ever can have resistance bands with us, we can use that to actually use our own bodies to do basically curls or, some arm lifts.
I might give that a try for sure. Is there a new food that you can recommend?
Let's say protein bars, and some actually will focus more on a meat flavor. Some can be sweeter, some can be nuttier. So that's a change in flavor. And in terms of what's healthy in them, you want them to have usually at least 8 grams of protein and no more than 13 grams of sugar. So I would just say for that, just to kind of branch out a little bit, being willing to try a different product.
Now, sometimes having the same 5 foods can get old. What are other tips for keeping a healthy lifestyle fresh and exciting?
Number one, I almost want to think back as to what made me kind of start this in the first place. Something motivated me enough where I had a reason to say, hey, I'm going to start making some changes. And now a week or 2 weeks or a month in, I'm not really feeling it anymore. And I'd also consider what supports I have. Am I doing this with anybody else? Do I have anybody to talk to about this? Do I have anybody in my corner? I like to have people follow up because it holds people accountable.
And you mentioned follow-up appointments at this stage in the program. What do we need to know?
I know sometimes it's hard to make time for this, but making sure that you do go back for a follow-up appointment with someone in healthcare, I think is so great to see those numbers change and to see those values decrease.
Okay, thanks, Sheila. Next, we're going to hear from 2 guest drivers who called in with their suggestions on what to do to continue to feel motivated and to make healthy changes, and celebrate milestones on the journey to better health. First, we have Michael, whose son helps him keep accountable.
I used to get up and walk every morning, but then I found myself sleeping later and later. I didn't have as much energy, and you could see the difference on the scale too. So my son became my walking partner.
Thanks, Michael. Next up, we have Anthony, who loves coming up with new healthy meals with his wife.
So I was always the guy who ate burgers and fries. But once I got comfortable with other salt-free seasonings, my fiance and I started making salads. And we have them with olive oil, a nice balsamic, some walnuts, and some feta cheese. Sometimes I'll add some grilled meats like salmon, shrimp, or chicken, and it's all good stuff. So that's what I have for lunch these days.
Well, that's all for today, my friends. I'd like to thank Sheila, Michael, and Anthony for joining me and sharing their insights and experiences. Next time, we'll be talking about rolling with the punches. In the meantime, I encourage you to try branching out a little bit. Try a new food or reward yourself with some new weights or exercise bands that you can take on the road. Remember that America needs you healthy. Your family needs you healthy. You need to be healthy to continue living this trucking life. We're on this journey together, every mile of the way. For the most accurate health information, visit cdc.gov or call 1-800-CDC-INFO.